Alright, there we go, bro. Yo, can you hear me better this time, bro? Is it better? Please tell me it's better, bro. Please tell me it's better. Okay. We're good now? Alright. Alright. Slightly better? Do you need me to speak up more or what? Do you need me to speak up? Is it good like this? Earlier, I needed max volume to hear you. Now only 75%. All right, that's chill then. That's chill. Yo, what's good, Zone? I'll give you mod real quick. All right, I'll wait. I'll wait like 2 seconds, and then we can watch the video that I had. If you guys want me to react to anything, then just put it in the description and I'll watch it. Yeah, Eon's being a chud. I've replaced him. Also, Goku versus Asta video coming out soon. As soon as I record and edit it, I got the script done. It's like right here. Little script lick real quick. Leak. You know what I mean? All right, real quick. Let me know if you guys can hear the video good. It's loud. Okay, let me turn that shit down. Let me know if I can hear it. Holy shit.
Now, like we said, because this isn't a
Only 3 people now? Yeah, I had like 10 earlier. It's tragic, but like it's good, bro. It's good. You can hear? All right. It's chill then. It's chill. You guys are my loyal fans, bro. The video's still like 30 times louder than you. Yeah, I can turn it down, bro. I can turn it down. All right, do you guys want me to watch anything else or what? If not, I can just react to this video. And then maybe do something after. I don't know. We'll see. Watch Sage of Thick Calves? What video from when the... Like, I need an exact video. The Genjutsu one? Oh, you mean the one that just came out? Yeah, I can watch that. Yeah, sure. I'll pull it up right now. Well, actually, give me like 2 seconds and I'll pull it up. Four people now? Yo, I'm famous, bro. Nah, as soon as the video comes out, I'll have like more people. I'm kind of just leeching off of Eon's fan base right now, but like he's also being a bum, so it cancels out. You know what I mean? Alright, does Genjutsu work cross versus the definitive truth? I can watch this.
Genjutsu is one of the most iconic and infamous abilities in the world of Naruto, with Genjutsu being the overarching ability which allows a shinobi to cast illusions, control the opponent's senses, force an enemy to fall asleep, and even dictate their actions for years on end. It's easy to understand why other fandoms would want to remove it from the equation in cross-verse discussion. Sitting down and answering the question Genjutsu works cross-verse, we first need to establish what exactly Genjutsu is. We actually don't get a direct definition for Genjutsu in the manga, but we do in different guides. In the 720 Naruto quiz book, we're told Genjutsu is a technique that inflicts not physical damage, but mental damage. It is often used with the purpose of causing confusion. In the 1 Decade 100 Ninja Guide, Genjutsu is defined as jutsu that utilize illusions to alter the psyche as opposed to the physical body, dragging others into illusory worlds. Finally, in the Show No Show official mini-character book, Genjutsu is described as a type of hypnotic technique used to bewilder the enemy, and a ninjutsu that intervenes in the opponent's mind, controlling their actions and 5 senses. So, for simplicity's sake, I'll take these and synthesize them into one unified definition, with all of the information provided, no more, no less. Here's what I came up with. Genjutsu is a type of ninjutsu that employs illusions to alter the target's perception. It inflicts mental rather than physical damage by manipulating the opponent's mind, dragging them into illusory worlds that cause confusion and bewilderment. By intervening in the opponent's psyche, Genjutsu controls their actions and distorts their 5 senses. Now, what I think is pretty clear is that Genjutsu, at least generally, is a technique that directly attacks the mind, intervening on the mental plane. So we can establish from this that one qualification for Genjutsu working cross-verse is that the target must have a mind of some kind. Duh. Now, what I mean by mind is generally what's going to be meant by mind in fiction and in our general conversations. It's the ethereal thing that allows for us to think consciously, even observing our own thoughts. It's generally established that humans have this thing, but it's also worth noting that in Naruto, even things like Edo Tensei dinosaurs are able to be caught in this, meaning that they do have some sort of conscious mind as well. So when I
in Boruto chapter, I think, what was it, like 60? Something like that. It stated that all living creatures have chakra. So that would also mean, by extension, all living creatures have chakra systems. So they can get caught in Genjutsu. I mean, it does make sense in series. I mean, if he goes through the path that, like, Genjutsu works cross-verse because it works on animals, that just doesn't, like, follow at all, considering what we see in Boruto.
say that something has to have a mind, it just means that it has to be conscious in some sense, at least to the point of being able to recognize things happening, react to them, communicate, etc. Now that being said, that applies to Genjutsu that attack the mind directly as opposed to creating just regular illusions, and we do know that there are Genjutsu which don't directly attack the mind, such as the Genjutsu that Kashin Koji creates to camouflage the entrance to his hideout in Boruto. This is simply just putting up an illusion in the real world, so more broadly, Genjutsu is just the ability to cast illusions, whether they be in the real-world environment, or via conducting an assault on a target's mind directly. Now, obviously, just creating an illusion in the real world isn't something that's limited by cross-verse mechanics. We see this type of thing in many different verses, such as Marvel's Loki.
Well, yeah, obviously not, but in context to the Naruto verse, using genjutsu on someone requires that person to have a chakra system, because how genjutsu works is it circulates through the chakra system.
Creating false holographic projections of himself, or JJK's Hanami doing something similar with flowers. Even in early Naruto, standard clones are directly called illusions because they're immaterial, unlike shadow clones. So that being said, this does prove genjutsu works cross-verse, at least in some sense. However, that's not really the type of genjutsu that we have in mind when this conversation pops up, is it? We're talking more about things like the Tsukiyomi, where the target is forced to see illusions within.
Holy shit, that's loud as fuck. Alright, sorry about that. Some dude just like rode past my house like loud as fuck on a motorcycle, bro. Holy shit.
In their mind, or Kodomatsukami, where the opponent is completely controlled and hypnotized into believing false thoughts implanted by the attacker. In other words, we're not talking about real illusions in real time, manipulating light or something like that. We're talking about illusions that take place in the mind. So let's actually discuss those. In order for us to prove whether or not those can work cross-verse, we have to first understand how they work. What I mean is mechanistically. What is the process?
Just like for the sake of reacting and shit. You know, gotta have no attention span like Eon. Here, I'll put on 1.5 actually.
By which genjutsu like this is successfully landed and applied to an enemy. I think we actually have a pretty good idea of how this works based on precedent in the series. First, I believe it's reasonable to assume that chakra must be injected into the opponent. The reasons for this are as follows. Number 1, Sharingan Genjutsu blatantly functions this way. We're directly told this in the Itachi Shinden Book of Midnight novel. Number 2, during Genjutsu, the target's chakra is disrupted. We know that foreign chakra disturbs a target's chakra via things like the black belted blades, aka black chakra rods from the Rinnegan, because we see this with Kakashi and Jiraiya getting their chakra disrupted or agitated when stabbed with those. This doesn't happen with regular knives, so there's some special property about the black chakra rods that cause this, and I think that special property is the fact that they are made of chakra. Number 3, disruption of chakra in the target can free them from Genjutsu. This makes sense if the enemy's chakra has entered the body, and they overcome that outside force with a force of their own, offering explanatory power which aligns with my position. Number 4, basically every time someone in Naruto controls something with a technique, it's via using their chakra inside of the thing that's being controlled. A water dragon is controlled by the user because they're controlling their chakra in the water dragon. Gaara's sand is controlled by Gaara because he manipulates the chakra in the sand. In a similar fashion to how Genjutsu works, the Yamanaka clan's mind transfer requires a direct clean shot to inject the user's mental energy into the enemy's body in order to forcibly swap consciousnesses. So we have a strong precedent that Shinobi controlling something with a ninja technique equals Shinobi chakra being in that thing. No other explanation for the starting mechanism aligns as well with all of this data as the explanation of they inject their chakra into the target. So this is the most reasonable position to take. Now we deal with the next step. What does the chakra do once it's in there? Well, thankfully we're told very clearly that the chakra is used to attack the mind directly. How this is done is explained to us, but there are 3 different understandings or interpretations of what this actually means. I'm obviously referring to Jiraiya's explanation to Naruto about how Genjutsu works and how to break it. Jiraiya says Genjutsu works in the opponent's 5.
Yeah, Jiraiya just explicitly says Genjutsu works on your opponent's 5 senses. You control the chakra flowing through their cranial nerves. So you're controlling the chakra inside of them. If you don't have chakra, which is, you know, every character cross-verse, then Genjutsu is just not gonna work on you objectively. I don't really see what he's cooking up here, but I'll let him keep going.
5 senses. You control the chakra flowing through their cranial nerves. He follows this up by saying that Naruto has to learn to break it because enemies exist who will use it, and that you can break the Genjutsu by disrupting or stopping your own chakra flow, or by having someone else do it for you. He also adds, while you're caught, your chakra is under your opponent's control. I checked the raws on this, and it says the chakra in your head is under their control, but regardless, you can't fully control your chakra while under Genjutsu and have to forcibly take control back. So what can we actually take from all this? Number 1, Genjutsu works on your 5 senses. Number 2, chakra in the cranial nerve / head is under the caster's control. Number 3, enemies use Genjutsu enough that this is worth preparing for. And number 4, disrupting your chakra flow significantly enough can break you from the Genjutsu. These things all tie together very neatly with Shikamaru's explanation of Genjutsu, with him saying that most Genjutsu operate on the opponent's 5 senses. Now, in this case, he's likely talking about delivery mechanism, since he follows us up by addressing Tayuya's sound-based Genjutsu, with it obviously being sound-based in its delivery. On top of that, though, he shows another way to break Genjutsu: pain. By breaking his own finger, he's able to free himself from Tayuya's control. So, while adequately disturbing one's chakra flow is one way to break a Genjutsu, adequate physical pain stimulus works as well.
He just read his own debunk? Yeah, I know. He literally just read this statement that proves, like, chakra doesn't work cross-verse. Like, I really do not know what he's cooking here, bro. We'll see, though. We'll see.
This is also demonstrated by Kurenai when she bites her lip to break a Genjutsu from Itachi. So we go back to the question that led us here. What exactly does the chakra do once it's injected into the enemy in order to generate Genjutsu? One interpretation is that the caster takes control of the chakra already running through the enemy's brain, and by controlling the
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
chakra that's already there, you control their mind and 5 senses. And this is why Jiraiya mentions that the chakra of the target is under the caster's control, and why adequate chakra disruption serves as a means to break the hold of the caster. There are a few problems with this, which we'll get into in a second. But the second interpretation, though, is that Genjutsu attacks the mind directly, and once the mind is seized, the chakra and 5 senses of the opponent are under control of the caster, since both chakra and the 5 senses are simply biological properties, which can feasibly be manipulated by the mind. But now that we fully understand Genjutsu, at least as much as we can without getting into the potential
Everything in his power to avoid saying chakra controls that the chakra over the senses hinges on the chakra in the brain. Yeah, exactly, bro.
debunks, let's dive into those. The next section, I'll go one by one through popular arguments against cross-verse Genjutsu and see if they hold any water. Before we do that, though, if you're enjoying the video so far, maybe you've learned something, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you in advance for your support. Love you guys. Let's go.
Could just be me, though.
Running your first 5K? Hard. His first day behind the wheel.
Fuck, this shit's annoying.
When it comes to cross-verse Genjutsu debunks, outside of just characters having illusion resistance, there are basically 4 barriers of entry. First, we need to show that Genjutsu can work on people without chakra. Second, we need to show that Genjutsu can work on people without mental and spiritual energies, as they're described in Naruto. Third, we need to show that Genjutsu can...
To show, because, wait, did you see what I was thinking? Yeah, Genju, that's impossible to show. And it, like, there's literally zero way to prove that Genjutsu could work on people without chakra. Like, legitimately.
Second, we need to show that Genjutsu can work on people without mental and spiritual energies, as they're described in Naruto. Third, we need to show that Genjutsu can work on someone without a chakra network. And fourth, we need to show that this is consistent with what we actually see in the series. That said, I'd like to start with the last piece because it stems from something we talked about just a minute ago and leads really nicely into the first hurdle afterwards. Before, I mentioned that there were a few issues with the first interpretation of how Genjutsu mechanistically works.
Like, there's literally nothing that shows, like, nothing anywhere within the series that shows that chakra can work out of verse, or not chakra, Genjutsu.
The chakra is in the target. So let's go over that real quick. Remember, under this interpretation, the caster takes control of the chakra that's already inside the target, and through taking control of the chakra itself, they gain influence over the 5 senses and the mind as a whole. The first issue here is that it doesn't explain why pain would break the Genjutsu. If Genjutsu functions simply by taking hold of the chakra in the brain, why would pain do anything? We know what it looks like when a caster's chakra is disrupted, and we never get something like that from someone just being in pain. Since there's no way to tie chakra disruption to pain, there must be something else in the process of casting, landing, and manipulating a Genjutsu that's separate from just controlling the enemy's chakra. Something else that this just doesn't jive with is the fact that A, not everyone has chakra, and yet everyone is hit by the infinite Tsukiyomi, and B, even those that do have chakra have to mold it first. Let's deal with the latter half.
Not everyone has chakra? That's just blatantly untrue. Like, it's literally confirmed multiple times that everyone, including, well, every living being has chakra, not just humans.
Half before the former. Chakra explicitly doesn't exist within the body in its complete form until chakra production, aka the mixing of mental and physical energies, occurs. We know this from Ebisu's explanation of how chakra works, with him showcasing a 1-to-1 stamina to chakra conversion rate, meaning that when 30% of stamina is converted into chakra, we see 30% chakra and 70% stamina. So when we see 100% stamina, we should be at 0% chakra. So like on this chart where we see Naruto perfectly healthy with 100% stamina and 0% chakra, that means that if you have 0% chakra before molding it, then not everyone has chakra running through them all of the time. Some push back on this by saying,
No. It's literally stated, like, multiple times that if you run out of chakra, you die. Chakra is your life source. Like, what's this referencing? What this is referencing here is not actual, like, chakra quantity within your body. Does he know how pain and nerves work literally connected to the brain? Yeah, exactly. Like,
saying that if a shinobi run out of chakra, they die. But we're explicitly told by Kakashi and Ebisu that if you run out of chakra and stamina, not just chakra, you die. This makes
one out of context statement and asserting it to be the case that you can have no chakra when that's just blatantly contradicted.
More sense since we literally have people saying they're out of chakra and still being alive. And we know that there are times when chakra isn't being molded, from examples with Tobirama and Naruto telling us as much. Now, there is a statement from Jiraiya which seems to imply that all people unconsciously create chakra.
Wait, I might be wrong, but what he seems to be implying here is that you have to mold chakra for chakra to exist within you, but chakra is just your life force. Chakra is literally always naturally flowing within you. You just have to control it and or need it, like he's saying.
chakra by swirling around physical and spiritual energies in their bodies. However, this is clearly in the context of shinobi, since shinobi, not regular people, are the ones who consistently manipulate chakra for things like jutsu. Obviously, samurai do this as well, but you get my point, which leads me to my next one, defending the idea that not everyone has chakra. This is a super hotly debated topic within the larger overarching topic at hand, but the series is actually very clear on this. We get told multiple times that there are people who do not have chakra. The best
When do we get told this? Like, at all? Like, genuinely? Like, he's saying it's very obvious that people can't have chakra, but it's literally the opposite interpretation. Like, there's many different ways to show that people have to have chakra. Not people, just living beings in general, actually.
best example comes from Shikamaru Shiden, where we're told that regular people, like the daimyo, don't possess the superhuman abilities of shinobi, like chakra and ninjutsu. It's very important that they delineate between those two things, because it's not that they simply can't cast jutsu or can't generate enough chakra to do so, it's that they possess neither of those things. Some will try to say that
Here, let me see if I can read this. So, shinobi a persecutor. I don't really understand what it's supposed to mean. Looking at the silent Shikamaru, Gengo began to speak as if to give background for a question. The objective hidden is always attached to the village where the shinobi live. Why must the shinobi hide? And what percentage of the realms are continents are ninja land? It is significant, is it not? Others rule over this world. The daimyo Gengo was actually right. Chakra and ninjutsu. Ninja did indeed have powers very different from normal people. Shikamaru nodded wordlessly. Gengo looked at him satisfied somehow before speaking again. The powers of ninja are already so strong they can't be contained within a human framework. Let's see. Hold up. Sixth in reading? Oh boy, yeah, shut your ass up. I'm about to ban you. Okay, so chakra ninjas are very different from normal people. Shikamaru nodded. And then ninja powers of ninja are so strong they cannot be contained. I don't see anywhere where it states that these guys don't have chakra. I mean, I might be misinterpreting this, but all this being stated is these guys like can't like they have like obviously they still have chakra and chakra networks. They just can't use ninjutsu and all that. I mean, even if it was the case that it was saying that, we can literally just take it to be the case that this is a contradiction, since so many oh shit, I literally can't speak. So much other information within this story contradicts this, right? So like say there's a panel in Black Clover that says, oh, this and that isn't light speed, but then there's 5 other sources that say it is light speed. Why would we take the one small source over the 5 sources? That just makes no sense. And also, I literally don't even know where this is from. I don't think... Here, I'm going to look in the description. I don't know if he gives a link for it. Yeah, he does not give a link for it. He just puts up a page and assumes most people won't double check and believe him. Yeah.
that when it says that they don't have chakra, it means that they possess it, they just can't use it. But that would be changing the definition of have. Have just means to hold or possess something. So that would be a less pragmatic and less parsimonious interpretation of what's being communicated. The reason this is important, though, is because everyone on Earth, including the daimyo, is hit with the infant Tsukiyomi. This means that people who do not possess chakra can and have been hit with genjutsu, which clears the first barrier I talked about.
And still asserted to be the case that you have to have chakra via all the other information we've seen in this series.
Earlier. I'd also like to add that in an interview from 2006, Kishimoto does just say that he created chakra in order to explain the superhuman abilities that shinobi perform that other...
How did you develop this chakra power system in Naruto? Are you interested in East Indian mythicism? I have no interest in East Indian mythicism. I needed a hook to tie those points in the story where the characters could would use powers that were beyond normal capacities. The term is chakra, which is explanation for years to better understand. Similar to force. Okay, this really doesn't explain anything at all.
Regular people can't. So obviously creating a delineation there in this interview between regular people and shinobi in the sense that regular people don't have chakra.
No, he's just referring to, like, generally within the Naruto-verse. Like, I don't see anywhere where it's just pointed out to be shinobi.
Chakra. Now, some people do push back on this and say,
also, again, bro, this could just be another contradiction. There's like 10 statements that state in different ways and show in different ways that you have to have chakra. It's just so in your face. I don't see how he came to this conclusion. Either he's just being disingenuous, or actually I don't even know what the second conclusion is, to be honest.
Everyone has chakra because Naruto says everyone has chakra in chapter 29 of Boruto. The problem with that is Todachi tells us in chapter 43 Scientific Ninja Column that some people don't have chakra. So Naruto is clearly not referencing chakra in its complete form, but something else entirely. This is where it gets a bit weird, but just...
Pretty sure he hasn't said shit about the Amado statement? Wait, what Amado statement are you talking about? Yo, chat, should I debate Sage on this?
Follow me through the weeds here. The Naruto series is very clear that chakra is used as both a technical term for the substance created by mixing mental and physical energies, as well as an umbrella term to be used interchangeably with stamina. Since we know that you have to run out of both chakra and stamina to die from chakra fatigue, Kakashi just saying to Sasuke...
You have to run out... Well, no. Chakra and stamina are connected. Like, they're proportionally connected. If you run out of chakra, then you die. You don't need to run out of chakra and run out of stamina, because they're not disconnected. The one explaining that the god tree sucks chakra from all life, meaning that all life will end. Oh, yeah. Well, no, I'm sure he's read the source material well enough. I mean, he makes videos on it constantly, and, like, he needed to, like, grab all the scans for this video. I just think he's purposely being disingenuous or unintentionally being disingenuous.
That if he runs out of chakra he dies is a good example of this interchangeable colloquial usage. We also get Orochimaru doing something similar, and even Kushina being stated to have been born with a particularly powerful chakra, despite the fact that we know that chakra isn't molded around the clock and certainly not by infants, so this is clearly in reference to her stamina. So while that can be a bit confusing, Boruto makes it much...
Wait, what? Hold on, let me go back.
Similar, and even Kushina being stated to have been born with a particularly powerful chakra, despite the fact that we know that chakra isn't molded around the clock and certainly not by infants, so this is clearly in reference to her stamina. So while that can be...
It's literally stated chakra. What do you mean it's in reference to her stamina? If it's stated she has a large amount of chakra at birth, why would that be in reference to stamina when it's explicitly using the word chakra? What? How does that make any logical sense at all? I think he knows he's talking dookie, but views are views. Maybe. I don't know.
Be a bit confusing. Boruto makes it much worse. So many things are just called chakra in Boruto, to the point that it feels like a catch-all term for energy.
So many things are called chakra in Boruto that it just refers to a catch-all term for energy? No, only things with chakra or that are chakra are stated to be chakra. I don't know any statements where it's just used as a general term. Stamina and chakra are recognized as entirely different terms in canon. He's talking out his ass at this point. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, nowhere is chakra referred to, or is chakra used to refer to stamina. He's just making up his own headcanon.
For example, centrifugal forces are called planetary chakra.
Well, yeah, because he's utilizing them with chakra. No shit.
So when Naruto says everyone has chakra, he could just be talking about the ethereal force that binds them, without talking about literal chakra. In other words, this could just be a more mystical, philosophical idea than something actually literal in terms of the energy source that we know as chakra. It's also...
I mean, if it wants to refer to something that is used with chakra or contains chakra, then yes. Sure, that would apply. But that doesn't mean it's some universal term.
Worth noting that Naruto is listed as a particular standout for not being well-rounded or knowledgeable scientifically, so the biological question of does everyone biologically have chakra might be a bit above his pay grade. Long story short, that Naruto statement doesn't work
I mean, there's still other statements, dude. There's like at least 5 statements to state this.
Is a debunk for a variety of reasons. That said, since people exist in the world
I know there's an explicit statement in Boruto by Sasuke. I don't remember where the exact statement is, but I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about.
who don't have chakra, and everyone on Earth was affected by the infinite Tsukiyomi. As I said earlier, we've proven that people without chakra can be affected by genjutsu. But what about people?
No, that was never proven. That was quite literally never proven anywhere without the video. He literally just tried to assert that since it can affect animals and not all people have chakra, then it has to be the case that it can affect people without chakra. But that just doesn't follow at all, because it's stated many times that all living things have chakra. And then he also tries to go into the thing with the whole catch-all chakra term thing. But the few statements he provided for that didn't even like use chakra as a catch-all term. Like he just kind of made a headcanon that it was the case that chakra was used as a catch-all term, but as I've already addressed, that doesn't like logically follow at all.
People with physical or spiritual energies as they're described in Naruto. This is also fairly simple. As I said earlier, Kushina is stated to have been born with a particularly powerful chakra. People aren't born with chakra, per Ebisu's explanation. We know chakra is used as an
People are born with chakra because all living beings have chakra.
umbrella term to describe stamina and several other energies as we went over
Literally like an organ, a part of their body.
earlier. Therefore, the Kushina statement is probably referring to her being born with a particularly powerful stamina, not chakra.
Just like manifest a chakra network at some random time and start being able to make chakra. That doesn't make any sense. Sorry if I'm pausing too much.
We actually get a detailed breakdown on this in the data books that goes over the difference between chakra and stamina and how jutsu are created. We'll even get a section that talks about how if you have particularly high stamina, it gives you a higher reserve of chakra in order for you to use for techniques. So while this, along with Ebisu's explanation, are more technical, we do, just like I said earlier, have multiple examples of chakra and stamina being used interchangeably, which lends credence to the interpretation that I'm trying to give you here. Now, the reason why this is all important, though, is because Hagoromo and Hamura are stated to be the first people born with chakra on Earth. This is doubled down on by statements saying all chakra was once unified in Kaguya's body and then dispersed into Kaguya.
Unite all chakra. Eventually turn our own twins. No, so basically what he's referring to is when Kaguya supposedly gives people chakra, but all she's doing is giving people the ability to harness chakra. They already had existing chakra networks. She didn't just like manifest chakra networks within them. Like a lot of these arguments just fall apart when you take into account the fact that shinobis manifest chakra with their chakra network, which is an organ that exists within their body.
Kaguya's 2 children, with her goal upon her return being to unite all chakra once again. This also lines up perfectly with the many statements calling Kaguya the originator or progenitor of chakra on Earth. This means that nobody had chakra prior to that, or more specifically, stamina, called chakra. Again, per Ebisu's explanation, as well as the data book descriptions on molding chakra, and the fact that we have multiple statements suggesting that chakra has to be actively molded, and certainly isn't an automatic process performed by newborns, when someone is stated to have been born with chakra, it's most likely referring to stamina. This logic would also apply to the statement about Hagoromo.
Yeah, no.
Hamura, meaning that the first people born with physical and mental energy.
Like he builds a weak foundation and then he utilizes that foundation and builds on it more. Like, bro, you put some sticks on the ground and then put like a giant ass hut on those sticks, bro. That's just not fucking working, bro.
Energy. Something else that backs this up is Madara's explanation for how Hagoromo
These are just apparently smarter and more knowledgeable than Amino, Jiraiya, the literal fucking manga, and Naruto. Yeah, Amino is literally one of the smartest and most knowledgeable characters in Naruto and Boruto. And, like, he knows a lot about the Otsutsuki and how they, harvest planets. I think he's definitely a more reliable source. And obviously Naruto, too.
Dispersed chakra to the shinobi world. He tells us directly that Hagoromo dispersed it into the world in hopes that it would allow people to connect their mental energies in order to understand one another. So this tells us that this isn't something that they were doing or could do prior, which communicates to us that he dispersed not just complete chakra, but the energy which allows for people to connect their minds and hearts, mental energy. He then goes on to say that over time, these people use chakra that he gave them, not to connect with others, aka link their mental. Genjutsu illusions, control the opponent's senses, force an enemy to fall asleep multiple times.
Stuff it! Say stuff it and try the all-new salad stuffers, only at Panera.
Tired of harsh mascara removal? One swipe removal will be with you shortly.
Yeah, you guys remember
Times
where I was at?
There are people.
Look, you forgot. Okay, I was like right here.
Isn't something that they were doing or could do prior, which communicates to us that he dispersed not just complete chakra, but the energy which allows for people to connect their minds and hearts, mental energy. He then goes on to say that over time, these people use chakra that he gave them, not to connect with others, aka link their mental energies with the energies of people around them, but instead to link their mental energy with the physical energy inside them, creating chakra that we know today, weaponizing it against one another. So what all this communicates to us is that human beings certainly didn't have chakra, nor did they have what we know later on as mental or spiritual energies to be able to link their hearts and minds. This is super important because prior to Hagoromo dispersing these energies to the people around the world, Kaguya placed the entire world under Genjutsu with the infinite Tsukiyomi. Since people on Earth didn't have chakra at the time, nor did they have mental or spiritual energies as we know them today, we just cleared the second barrier. Stamina is the unmixed collection of mental
What's up, Ian? Oh my god, is that my favorite YouTuber 6? Yeah, it is.
and physical energies. Genjutsu doesn't attack the body, but the mind. So possessing physical energy, aka the energy that's produced naturally by the cells in the body, isn't really relevant. So we don't have to prove they don't have physical energies, just that they don't have mental energies, because then mental plus physical energies unmixed is stamina. If they don't have mental energies, they don't have stamina. Therefore, we just showcased that Genjutsu can work, and has worked, on individuals without stamina, as it's technically described in Naruto.
Loki, I'm not watching this video anymore, but this shit's kind of ass. Like, no disrespect to the creator, but like, he kind of built, like I said earlier, he built his foundation for his argument, but the foundation for the argument was just so terrible. The rest of the argument is just gonna follow to be terrible. So, do you guys have any other videos you want me to watch, or what? If not, I can watch the video I was gonna watch originally.
One of the bits of pushback I've received on this
Your voice is super low. Yeah, I tried to fix that earlier, but like, I don't know. Timeout Zode for me? Sure. Just for you, yeah. Yeah, I tried messing around with it earlier. I couldn't really get it. I put some AirPods on it. It increased my volume a lot, so that helped. I'll mess around with it more later to see if I can get my volume up. Let's just watch the video you originally had lined up. Alright, I got you. Yo. If you guys want to talk about the video I'm about to make, we can do that too. Or if you have any questions about it, it's Asta versus Goku. I'll explain how to mess with it whenever it beats again. Alright, bet. Please help me out, bro. Please. Later we can get on call. Yeah, definitely. Actually, just like right after the stream, we can get on call. If you're not busy. Anyway, best of luck. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Yeah, you too. Thanks for helping me out earlier. It's 2 a.m. I'm gonna have to goon and then sleep soon. Alright, bye. Don't worry, Zode. I'll come in bed with you later. Pookie. I'm trying to share the Homelander highball, bro, but looking for feats with hour-long episodes is annoying. Wait, once you get it, show it to me. I want to see, Loki. Yo, mod abuse, bro. Wait, should I watch this video or this video? Which one of these? Or I'll make a poll real quick, actually. Yeah. Make the poll, does Zod eat beans? Yeah, I can do this after, bro. I can do that after, bro. Yeah, so you guys want to watch the first video or the second video? Like, I saw this on my feed. I know it's from like 2 years ago, but I just like want something to react to. I saw this on my feed. I was like, it's definitely gonna have some Asta downplay in it. So like, I want to debunk the Asta downplay. But we could also watch this video because it's like the same fucking matchup. So, like, second or first video? Does it? Let me know. Second? Alright, I got you. Here, vote on this poll real quick, though. Yo, yes or no, chat? What are we thinking? Does Zod eat beans? Tuka also made the shitty Fun Gang versus Don main cast video. Oh, it's this guy? Yeah, this video is about to be terrible, bro. I remember.
When emergency strikes, first responders need their critical technology.
Wait, doesn't he put like Don at like City Block and Hypersonic or some shit like that? I low-key forgot, but I remember that video being ass, and I like writing a whole debunk paragraph in the comment section.
To move as fast as they do.
I'll try to debunk his mass shield scaling too, but like it's been a while since I've seen mass shield, so I might not be able to like fully, but it's fine.
Into Gojo versus Makima-esque matchup where you'll need a PhD in 3 math lectures to even understand what's going on. The only thing that really matters are raw stats.
Who the Fun Gang is? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I remember that shit.
Since pretty in line with the obligatory Harry Squatter jokes flooding the internet right now, Mashl's resident one-punch Potter is unironically just that, a straight-hands, magicless brawler whose closest thing to a power-up is an extra scoop pre-workout. And while Asta did develop anti-magic swordsmanship to compensate for his shortcomings as a monolith wizard, that wouldn't really do anything to someone whose power set is entirely comprised of never skipping leg day. So all we really have to do to effectively solve this one is just answer who's faster and who's stronger. Unfortunately for us, Black Clover and Mashal.
Yeah, Asta's infinitely faster and infinitely stronger on a low ball. Like, the best you can get for Mashiel is 4D off a statement of him transcending to another plane, but I don't know, that's kind of iffy right now. And like probably like MFTL plus, because he gets light speed, and then he gets like thousands of times faster quantifiably through multipliers with Boom. But like on a low ball, Asta's just like multi-plus and inaccessible. So I don't really don't see at all how he wins unless he pulls like some fucking outer magical skill out of his ass. But I know since it's him, he's probably gonna skill them book to like fucking building level, bro.
Unlike a lot of other new gens, are both series that actually like to show off some very impressive visual benchmarks every few dozen chapters or so to let the audience get a good gauge of the main cast's growth throughout the story. Early on in both series, mountain busting was made out to be pretty impressive, and then through hundreds of chapters, we progressed.
I mean, mountain busting was never really shown to be impressive in Black Clover. I mean, the only instance where you can really argue that is where it stated that Yami and Yami and Jack destroyed a mountain during their battle. That's the only time like mountain level is emphasized at all. I have to max my volume out to hear you and then turn it back down to try and avoid it. Alright, I'll turn the video down. Alright, I'll turn the video down. But like, I'll fix my volume up the stream for the next stream. Don't worry about it. If you want, we can debunk that video on a separate stream. Sure, if you want to join up on one of my streams, I'd definitely be down. Just like let me know. Just DM me. Does a classic ODC flex mean AP similar? Yeah. Like you can literally argue Asta chapter 1 is multi-plus, even though I don't actually believe it since it like kind of goes against the narrative. But Asta scales finitely to Dorothy through the 1 Magic Knight Captain equals 100 Magic Knight statement. Since Dorothy had already created and like had Glamour World beginning of series, and Glamour World would just be multi-plus in size. I've elaborated on this like a million times. I'm sure you guys know why. Asta chapter 1 would scale to multiversal plus, since an infinity is a concept, not a number. Any finite number is still an infinite amount away from infinity. So if you finitely scale to multi-plus, then you just be multi-plus. Not gonna lie. Alright, see you later, Zod. Don't worry about it. Not gonna lie, the video's audio is frying me. My brain is way louder than the last one. If I turn down the volume, I can't hear you. Yeah, I turned down the video. I can just turn on Loki. I can just turn down the video and turn on the subtitles. So I'm not gonna lie. Let me know if you have any more problems with the audio.
Into seeing characters annihilate entire countries in a single blast, or even move continent-sized structures with.
I mean, yeah. While this is shown that they can destroy countries and continents, it's like not really emphasized that much, and compared to a lot of the other feats, it's kind of ass. I mean,
with just their raw stats. And then by the final chapters, there are even some very strong implications of outright planetary levels of power for the upper echelon of the cast. Asta and MASH surprisingly share a lot more in common in terms of their general scale and progression, aside from just being.
No, they do not. I'm sorry. Even if you lowball like Asta and like highball and wank MASH to like high heavens, there's literally zero way you can get them to be like even close in stats, let alone equal in stats.
Buff dudes with no magic. In fact, it's to the point that their strongest feats practically mirror one another, since Asta's
Their strongest
dudes with no magic. In fact, it's to the point.
Fuck no. Asta's strongest feat would be scaling to Yami, who destroyed Glamour World, which is multi-plus in size. Since yeah, I know my laptop is about to die. I'll plug it in a sec. So Asta scales to Yami, who destroyed Glamour World, which is multi-plus in size. It would just be multi-plus in size because Luck consistently has the best sensory range in the series, especially scaling above characters with the Black Bulls, and 2 characters with unnotable or unimpressive sensory, which is Henry and Lumiere, are able to sense into different space-times, which is bare minimum low multi-sensory. It's Henry sensing the Remnants in Glamour World, and Lumiere sensing Zagreud's Mon in the Shadow Palace. Luck would obviously scale above these two in terms of sensory, granting him low multi-sensory, and yet he still perceived Glamour World as being infinite, so it'd just be infinite in comparison to that low multi, which is multiversal plus, making Asta multiversus plus, and like, you could argue this is not even his best feat.
That their strongest feats practically mirror one another, since
Okay, it popped up for like 2 seconds, I couldn't see it, but he used the planet busting statements for both. Why are we using planetary Asta? Planetary Asta has been asked since like fucking 4 years ago, bro. Like, it's way less consistent than fucking universal and above.
Asta's highest reasonable scaling goes off of Lucifero's 2 world-ending statements, and Mash's comes from his fight with Innocent Zero.
Planetary Asta. Are we serious? Like, Asta has... I can literally count 23 feats and statements for Asta being above universal. Like, it's not even funny. There's no way you can even get Asta below infinite levels in 2026. I mean, obviously this video was made in 2024, but you get what I mean.
Who threatens to do the same with this attack. But obviously, as you can sort of expect, no planets were actually destroyed, despite the claims, because that would have effectively ended the story, making these feats relatively hard to gauge since they didn't happen on panel, nullifying any super neck-beardy methods we might have had to calc out their effects. But if they're both basically capped with the same strength feats and lack the hacks to compensate though, how do we compare them? And to that, I'd have to say, context is king. Because in my opinion, one character does have a slight edge here, since contextually, Asta only fought Lucifero at 50% of his full power, and debatably only won because of his true Devil Union form.
Okay, so he's just gonna like pop up the statements, put them both at planetary, and then not like elaborate at all. That's fucking terrible. I'm sorry. That's terrible.
Stronger anti-magic, giving him quite a few reasons to not fully scale to those statements. But Asta's...
I mean, you can literally argue Asta got multiple infinite amps after the fucking, after the Lucifero fight, by the way.
Fight with Lucifero was also an entire time skip ago, and since then, he's been training to deal with someone who's absorbed the full power of Lucifero on top of the Wizard King. So to compete with power like that, he obviously needed an amp, which came in the form of Zeton, which is basically described as a sudden eruption of spiritual power, ranging anywhere from a 5 to 20 times increase based upon translation, which can then be used to cut wielder's attacks for maximum output. And although the power of said amp can be distributed into either a single attack or many consecutive attacks, changing
Yeah, your stream is lagging, but because you gotta plug in your laptop, yeah, I'll do that. Hold on. Holy shit. I'll be right back, chat. Holy shit, my dog. Alright, I'm back. Holy shit, let me change tabs, bro. Oh, it's because I... Fucking shit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I got it back up. Let me plug in my shit so it doesn't lag anymore. Yeah, so basically, how Zeton works like obviously he just explained it, but I don't think he explained it very well. How Zetton works is basically it's an explosive output of your key with and how that explosive output works is either it can be distributed into like multiple Zettons, like distributed through multiple Zettons to where it's like 5 times, or just like distributed through 2 strong Zettons where it's like let's say 20 and 20 times, and then one big Zetton would just be 100 times bare minimum.
The potential output a bit, the main takeaway is that Asta says his true Devil Union would have struggled against a Zetton user named Ichika. But after learning Zetton himself, he shows multiple feats, be it one-shotting a paladin or going on to outperform Ichika, to imply he too has potentially caught up to his old prime using only his lower forms. And depending on what percentage of Lucifer...
What? He has potentially caught up to his old prime. It's literally stated that the partial Devil Union he uses at the beginning of Land of the Sun is stronger than his true Devil Union he used against Lucifera. So that's just blatantly false.
Pharaoh you actually believe old Asta scales to, plus whatever multiplier you think Zetton grants, Asta could be anywhere from just equal to Prime Lucifero to literally 10 times stronger than him, at least
equal to Prime Lucifero. Dude. He was already equal to Lucifero at the beginning of... Or he was already massively stronger, actually, because he was equal to True Devil Union at the beginning of the Land of the Sun. And then he gets mogged by Ichika. He trains. He gets stronger than Ichika. And then gets an 100 times boost with Zetton, obviously. And then he just keeps getting stronger and stronger up until when he beats Lucifera. And then, obviously, the 2-year time skip.
In short bursts. In Mash's case, though,
like, Ichika alone is already stronger than Lucifera.
This fuzzy, debatable, contextual stuff just isn't really the case, since he pulls up to his final fight with Innocent Zero, calls him cringe, lets him turn into a literal god with control over time, immortality, and darkness, then proceeds to just flick him. In no small part, this whole fight is maybe the single worst beatdown I've seen put to page in a long while. Mash dances on him, blitzes his perception by a stated hundreds of times, and quite literally manages to thrash Innocent Zero's god form so badly that no matter how many timelines he visits or redos he attempts, Mash is always standing in between him and victory. Now, while it would be a little unfair of me to say Mash just bodied someone with a redo button for an entire fight, it's made pretty clear that after a year in the hyperbolic time chamber-esque mind space, Mash is so far above Innocent Zero that Zero had to rely on attacking his friends and trying to nuke the planet out of existence just to hurt Mash.
Yeah, that's where the higher dimensional statement comes in.
Because once Mash's friends were out of the equation and the planet-destroying attack was put on hold, Mash...
So how good does it feel to save on your commercial auto insurance with Geico?
Good as having a great hammer.
Okay.
And now it's lagging, bro. Holy shit.
Mash did indeed completely fold Innocent Zero, and did I mention this whole fight took place while Mash was missing his heart? Yeah, Mash won this entire fight, pushed a continent.
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip past this part. So what I was saying. Yeah, blah blah blah.
Just as easily be interpreted as Lucifero enslaving all of humanity with his power, as actually planetary statements that could
Literally being stated to destroy the world. Why would him be destroying the world be in reference to enslaving everyone? You have to semantically prove that. That was not with his heart. Without his heart, by the way, he got a prosthetic or some shit. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, thanks for reminding me about that, because it's been a while since I read Mass Shield. Yeah, so he just fucking lied.
Just as easily be interpreted as Lucifero enslaving all of humanity with his power, as opposed to just outright planet busting, whereas Mash is at bare minimum confidently above a confirmed planet buster, as is stated and shown.
Lucifera pretty much has the exact same statement. So, you know.
Numerous times, with Innocent Zero having stronger hacks than Lucifero to boot. So if I had to give a slight edge in power,
So you can just argue, since Sekai is used, you can actually argue it's in reference to universe.
I'm leaning towards MASH, especially with Asta's Devil Union time limit and the limitations placed around Zeton. But if there's one thing Black Clover is known for in the wider Versus community, it's speed. So does this turn into a blitz with Asta's wacky speed scaling? Well, it's pretty straightforward. During the first portion of the story, prior to any time skips, light magic is considered.
Bro, he lowballed Asta's, lowballed Asta's speed to fucking, or not speed, power to shit, and he still scaled him horribly. Holy shit.
The fastest magic in the series, blatantly matching or outpacing strong characters like Yami, Julius, and even Asta with his key sensing. However, as the series progresses and characters like Licht, Lumiere, and Zigret appear, light magic quickly begins to be power crept by directly superior versions, leading to an FTL Asta by as early as the first time skip. But through training, unlocking the Black Form, True Devil Union, and Zeton, it's really not hard to see how general power creep makes light magic seem pretty irrelevant hundreds of chapters deep. As for an exact number of just how bad this creep got, without multipliers, it should at least be around 500 times the speed of light from Yuno's very.
I mean, with multipliers, you can, if you want to take the finite interpretation, you can argue, Asta would be like trillions of times into faster than light. If you take the infinite interpretation, he gets like multiple infinite size speed apps, or mathematically inaccessible speed apps. So
Very impressive feat here, where he blocks all these light blasts raining from the sky. But you can obviously get it higher if you want to stack on the multipliers or be more sciencey with it. This same logic is also pretty true of MASH though, as during his fight with Domina, and I'm not making this up, he became a one-man water bucket brigade, creating tens of thousands of after images instantaneously, in an act that is called physically impossible, and usually clocked in at about 35 times the speed of light. From there, we can back it up with more light speed calcs like this one, as well as using the 100 times multiplier MASH got from moving faster in Innocent Zero's slowed time, to put him at well over 3,500 times FTL. Now before you leave your rage comments, no, I'm obviously not saying that MASH is just gonna speed blitz Asta. I'm just trying to point out that these massively faster than light scales aren't anything exclusive to Black Clover at all. In terms of who's actually faster, I honestly think there's some nuance here, because Asta's key sensing that we mentioned before is a form of spiritual precog, sort of like Sage Mode or
he would still have to have the speed to dodge the attacks. Like, you can have precog, you can have future sight, you still have to have the speed to dodge the attacks. So regardless, Asta would be light speed at that point. Like, there's no interpretation you can make where Asta is slower than MASH unless you're just disingenuous.
observation
Even if you're just, like, using finite Asta.
hockey, which dramatically boosts his overall perception and effective combat speed. But MASH has something called weakness mode that acts as a state of perfect lethargy, where he loosens his muscle fibers to become as difficult to strike as paper in the wind. It's basically what would happen if Saitama tried to use Ultra Instinct. So while Asta might conventionally win out in speed, MASH can still respond with instinctual movement. And since both can fly too, I'd imagine any movement edge that Asta gets here is very minor. But saying that, who actually wins? Because our tried and true method of who's more jacked has effectively led us to a tie, with one being faster and the other being stronger. So how can we possibly decide on a winner? I'll tell you how.
Faster and stronger to an infinite degree.
We just add another category.
Even just like taking a single feat. In Neverland, it's stated time is stopped, and all Lucius and all the paladins are able to move within it. That's just blatant inaccessible. Without context, and with context, you can actually get it to a measure.
Since, as this video has shown, these two share a lot more in common than just their origins. From story to scaling and even their general
Still not time is stopped. Sorry.
movesets, these two are practically one in the same, capable of countering each other at almost every turn, except for the sole case of endurance. Now while I'm not saying Asta hasn't had his fair share of beatings, MASH's insane bodily control has let him survive being cut to ribbons, having his spine eviscerated and his heart ripped out, just to nonchalantly power through it like some sort of gag character for minutes at a time. So even ignoring that
did not happen.
weakness mode, which provides MASH with an inherent advantage to Asta's slashing attacks, as well as the minor strength advantage he holds,
Nothing like MASH is quiet and Asta can't shut the fuck up. Yeah, he's taking like he's taking two traits from them, which is their lack of magic and them just like using raw power or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? And he's like using that to say the characters are extremely similar despite them having like widely different characters and character traits.
MASH just by being a
Like, for example, that's like if I say Griffith and Luffy are the same character because they share two character traits. Or,
magicless normal guy is inherently Asta's worst kind of matchup. Something he has no counter to and only a limited time to deal with before MASH hits him with the
認めるよ、真人。俺はお前だ。
and that's all for today. Thanks.
Yeah, Austin eggs, bro. I'm surprised I've not heard some BS immeasurable arc using Innocent Zero. Yeah, I'll probably make one once I finish reading over the series, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Or rereading the series. There is something you could probably use, because he just, like, blatantly controls time. I mean, Ost is immeasurable regardless, so he's still next. Loki, is anyone even still here, bro? If you guys want me to do anything else or watch any more videos, drop it in the chat. If not, I'll just end stream. Just argue that resistance to time hacks is a hack itself, and that MASH has no hacks. Yeah, you could probably just argue it that way. Yeah. I have to see like the overall context though, because all I remember is him fucking fighting Innocent Zero, and he lost his original heart, and he was like rocking him after he trained in like Zimbabwe or something. He got his heart ripped out and threw a single kick before he collapsed. He had a prosthetic in the rematch. Yeah, I think I remember that, yeah. Let me see what's on my feed. Oh, Goku, I already watched this shit. It's fire. Fire video, bro. My goat Zeta. Turn on all messages? Sure. How the fuck do I do that from here? The Loki don't even know. Let me end this poll real quick. Oh yeah, it's on top chat. I'll just do live chat. Let's watch some femboy ASMR. Yo, I'm not pulling that up on stream, bro. I'm not. I'm sorry. Yo, Loki, hop in a VC with me after this. I got you, bro. Holy shit, it's tongue, so hurt. It's Triple T, bro. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Yo, Eternal Dreamer, is there anything else you want me to react to? Or, like, do? It's like my first stream. Don't have much of a plan. Just had a video I was gonna react to. And I reacted to it. It was ass. Very ass. Let me think. Yeah, keep thinking there, buddy. if you've not seen Crafty's Killua versus Kid Sasuke video, it's bad. Alright, sure, we can watch that. After we watch that, I'm in stream though. I'm at stream. How long is this shit? Killua versus Kid Sasuke. Cause like I'm low-key hungry, I can't lie. Oh, it's just like from like 2 years ago. Yeah, I can watch this.
Both Sasuke and Killua are characters that are similar in alike. Both are assassin-like. Both of them use lightning-based moveset.
But my friend skills it, and he has Killua like FTL to FTL plus, and I think I lucky forgot for AP. I think like town level or some shit. I mean, he's a really good power scaler. I trust him though. So also I've seen Killua's FTL feed, and it seems pretty FTL to me. So you know, I don't scale Hunter x Hunter.
That's well, anyone would agree that any later iteration of Sasuke would not only dominate Killua with the rest of Hunter x Hunter. People tend to compare the kid version of Sasuke and say it's a bit more fair in comparison. So I'm here to give the honest truth. Something I should go over, and regardless of who I'm going over vis-a-vis Sasuke or Naruto, they eventually shown to be relative, not equal to each other at the end of part.
For the worst calc stack of all time, that's all I say. Oh my goodness, he's using fucking calc stacking. Why do fucking calc stacking? I hate calc stacking, bro.
One. So if I go back and forth between the two, that's just merely because I need to establish which character did what to scale to the other. One of the best speed feats in early Naruto is unweighted Rock Lee being able to outspeed Gaara's Sand Shield. This is important as in the past, just as a child, his Sand Shield is able to protect him from an explosive blast point-blankly. With said feat being calculated upwards of essentially Mach 29, and said Lee outspeeding this, just assuming he's bare minimally 2 times that, he would be Mach 58 or high hypersonic plus speed. This is relevant as Sasuke, after his one blast point-blankly. With said feat being calculated upwards of essentially Mach 20.
Okay, he literally just gives the result, not the actual calc. Did he put the calc in the description? I want to see the calc. No, he did not put the calc in the description. Alright, whatever. I'll just
29, and said Lee outspeeding this, just assuming he's bare minimally 2 times that, he would be Mach 58 or high hypersonic plus speed. This is relevant as Sasuke, after his 1-month training session, was stated to be equal to said Lee in base, hence giving a base 1-month train Sasuke high hypersonic speeds. However, with his 2 Tomoe Sharingan and using the Chidori, he's able to match Gaara in his beginning stages of his tailed beast state. This is important as it's shown even Lee in his 5th gates couldn't push him enough to use his full power. This is shown as even Gaara is able to tag Lee while in base, so even recover instantly from his fight. Even Gaara and Tamari knows that this is not only him getting stronger or at his strongest, but Sasuke is someone on his level, essentially putting a 2 Tomoe and Chidori Sasuke above Gates Lee, which would say that entering the gates makes one become dozens of times stronger. Dozen by definition is just a set of 12, and due to there being plural, assuming just 2 dozen, or Lee would be 24 times stronger, or Sasuke would be Mach 1392 or massively hypersonic plus. Then throughout the fight, Gaara's manifestation continued, and he was shown in state to be stronger and faster, and just assuming he got at least 2 times that, he would be Mach 2784, and the base Naruto was able to come and react and tag said Gaara. In response to this, he transforms even further, with again just assuming he at least got 2 times amp from the last, he would be Mach 5568. And when Naruto
we're literally just assuming multipliers. Yeah, I do not agree with that.
Naruto finally gains his resolve, he's not only able to fight and react, but even push and even outpace said Gaara at these times, making a base skin Naruto in the utmost higher ends of massively hypersonic plus.
I mean, he was able to react to attacks from him, but like, Gaara is still skilled like way above him at that point.
Ranges of speed.
Femboys versus tomboys, the honest truth. Bro, I've already seen that video, bro.
Which a base Sasuke scales to at the end of part 1 to show they are equally fighting each other, with the both of them in their transformed states being at least 10 times their base, as the curse mark version 2 is consistently stated to be at 10 times.
I mean, he keeps just bringing up like multipliers, but he doesn't mention where the multipliers come from at all. So I'm just supposed to take what he says to be true, despite no evidence being provided.
And Naruto's KM1 tail state is equal to it, making them both respectively Mach 55,608.
I can agree with that. The 10 times off the
80 or around 3.5% the speed of light or sub-relativistic. However, when using the Chidori, it's stated that it not only gives a speed but power amp, and just assuming just a 2 times increase, Sasuke and Naruto as his Rasengan equally clashed with him and each other, they would respectively be Mach 111,306.
Where did the 2 times come from, bro? Yeah.
or around 7% the speed of light, which is sub-relativistic. The greatest attack potency feat in all of Part 1 of Naruto comes from Choji, as he's able to tank the force that Jiraiya did by punching him into the sky. With the actual force needed to do this due to the large size when using the super expansive jutsu comes out to around town level, which Choji can easily tank said force, hence giving him that said levels of power. Now Choji's one of the weakest shinobis in Part 1, as this is highlighted upon as no one as a group was even weaker than them, even to the point where they were just hiding from everyone during the death force part of the exam. So sending the likes of a base Garo.
I kind of disagree with that, because like Choji when he locks in is actually like really fucking strong. We see that in his fight against, I completely forgot his name, I don't know, the fat ass guy, where we have to quote unquote sacrifice.
Of all people would scale to the least of said forces being absolutely generously lowball. Now if we follow the last aforementioned scale line as we did with the speed section at the beginning, with a beginning state of Garo with his tail beast being superior to a Gauge elite.
Shikamaru calls Choji the strongest in the Sasuke retrieval, by the way, this is butt. Yeah. I thought there was something like that, but I didn't remember exactly. Because Choji is like really fucking strong. He's not one of the weakest.
Who was at least 24 times Gaara's base. Sasuke scaling to said Gaara with his 2 Tomoe Sharingan and Chidori. Gaara being at least 4 times stronger in his final beast state, with a base Naruto who reaches resolve scales to said Gaara. Then Sasuke by the end of Part 1 is directly fighting as equal to said base Naruto, which if we add up all the numbers, this will make both base Naruto and Sasuke respectively 1.244 times 10 to the 16th joules of energies, or them having city levels of potency behind their punches. And if either Naruto enters as KM1 or Sasuke enters as Curse Mark version 2 state, they'd be getting a 10 times amp as already established, making their output upwards of 1.244 times 10 to the 18th joules, which is actually in the mountain levels of power. And if either one of them uses their Rasengan or Chidori, they would just be...
You gotta check out the Debussy ASMR off stream, of course. Sure, bro, sure. Why not?
Be deeper into that level. So essentially you have Naruto and Sasuke in those city levels of power to even mountain at their highest. Sasuke's only real abilities come from his Sharingan, as he can copy other people's techniques just by looking at them in use, even physical-based techniques. He also has great precognition with the ability to see his opponent's actions before they even make them, and it's shown with the 3 Tomoe you can even perceive down to the cellular level, which is arguably said if he has that level of perception. Something to address even before tackling Hunter x Hunter scaling as a general is the infamous downplay of their speed, as this stems from the statement in chapter 265 that Netero's punched so fast that it left sound in its tracks. People try to claim this feat caps most of the verse, as Netero was the peak of speed for their verse, and thus the verse is below the speed of sound. However, there are a few things wrong with this, as this statement doesn't place a particular cap on Netero's speed, as it's not saying that he had reached Mach 3 or something on some Jujutsu Kaisen like timing. All it says that he left sound in its tracks. Technically the speed of light would do the same, which brings to the second point. We have no idea what level of strength Netero was at when he did this, or if he had Nen, which mind you, just learning Nen as a base makes one several times stronger, which speaks in volumes how much stronger the strongest Nen master would be. Coupled with the fact that there's nothing that implies the verse is below said level of speed, this would be very disingenuous to say so. A base Kilo is confident in being able to take down fighter jets, with its serialization of Hunter x Hunter, the fastest jet at the time being the Lockheed SR-71, which is able to reach speeds up to Mach 3.5 or supersonic plus ranges of speed. This level of speed wouldn't be inconsistent for Kilo, as he's able to catch a fish dart inches away from his head in such a small fraction of time, with said feat being calculated upwards of Mach 53.
Yo, that feat is not high hypersonic plus, bro. You can get that shit to like faster than light.
0.54 or high hypersonic plus. All of this in mind is just base Killua. When he enters Godspeed, however, it's stated that it's a drastic amp to his speed. Even just assuming it's a 2 times amp, he'd be Mach 107.8 or massively hypersonic speeds. However, a Godspeed Killua has been shown to be relative to a post-mortem Nen Neferpito, as he was able to save Gon in time before he was able to kill him, despite him being extremely closer to Gon than Killua was. With a base casual Pito being able to jump from the Chimera amp base to Gon, Killua, and Kite, speed blitzing them all in the process. With just how big the base is and just how far away they were from it, the feat is calculated anywhere between the Mach 105 to Mach 378. However, when Neferpito was actually trying, it's stated that he could reach speeds 2 times faster than he did before, placing his speed anywhere between Mach 210 to Mach 756. With his post-mortem state being stated to amp him, just assuming it's just a 2 times increase, he would be between Mach 420 to Mach 1512, making Killua in those massively hypersonic.
Yo, the multipliers in this video are fucking crazy, bro. Like, you genuinely do not need this many multipliers to get Killua to massive hypersonic plus, bro. There's literally feats that can get him higher than that or equal to that without multipliers.
To even massively hypersonic plus speed ranges, making those speed of lightning statements even more believable. Killua's Godspeed doesn't actually amp him physically, only in speed, but he is stated to be exactly 10 times weaker than Yuppie, with Yuppie's Rage Blast being able to self-destruct and vaporize an entire area which he casually tanked, with the actual explosion or the destruction of the area being talked at its lowest up to large town level to even the city level. With Killua being 10 times weaker than either one of those outputs, he would be between 1.956 times 10 to the 14th joules of energy to even 1.372 times 10 to the 15th joules of energy. You essentially have Killua's attack potency between the large town levels to even small city levels of ranges. Kilo's abilities consist of a type of instinctive reaction, as he programmed his body to be able to react to enemy attacks before he can physically do it, something akin to Ultra Instinct. He's also able to completely paralyze his opponents. Even his regular attacks are able to do this in his Godspeed state, which we've already established he can work on people that are 10 times stronger than himself. As we can see, Sasuke has Kilo outmatched in almost every stat just in base. Technically, Kilo got his paralysis off while Sasuke was
This is ass, bro. I can't lie. There's so many better feats you can use for Killua. Like, not in terms of attack potency. I haven't seen anything that gets him higher in terms of attack potency, but like, for speed, most definitely.
was still in his base, it would technically work on him and leave him open for a deadly barrage.
And I just didn't see any evidence for the multipliers being provided for Naruto. Like, the same can be said for, to some degree for Hunter x Hunter 2, but Hunter x Hunter also has lightning speed statements like he provided, so.
Attacks. However, in base, he still has the speed advantage, and paired with the precognition of the Sharingan, it's very unlikely for him to ever even hit him. And if he enters his curse mark state, it just makes his one soul advantage he has now out the window. Overall, Sasuke does win pretty badly, but I do hope this does help people understand just how strong both of them are respectively. As from what I've seen, this
Yeah, Kilo and Neg, bro, I can't lie. Bro, Gojo and Sukuna fucking... No, Gojo alone and Sukuna alone destroy Madara, bro. Like, even with just raw stats. Low-key, I'm gonna end stream now and go eat some food. But I'll start the recording tomorrow and then start on editing that day or the next day. So the video will be out soon, probably at the very most a month if it really takes me that long to edit or learn editing. The topic again is Goku versus Asta. So I already have the script finished anyway. Just slow as fuck, but you get my point. Yeah, I will have fun gooning, bro. Don't you worry. Peace out. Sorry if I was if I sounded weird or my wording was weird. Just my first stream and everything. Peace out.